Well, hello there, people of the internet, and hello again. I am TheMBmulti, and welcome back to my Rome Total War True Rome campaign as a Julia. This is part 22. In the last episodes, we had a very long end turn where we had to fight the final army of Macedon. Macedon is dead now. They have been defeated here at Salona finally. So Macedon is gone. Then we had to fight over here at Porvalisium to take the settlement from the Dacians, which we managed to do. Then we had an extremely hectic battle over here at Osca, in which we managed to defeat like I don't know how many different armies coming at us. I've done a couple turns off camera. As you can see, we've captured Osca now. The entire army has been retrained, which luckily can happen over here at Osca. And we're training some garrison. Also, everyone else has been pushed away, so all is good here. Also, I'm training some new stuff around here, and this army will have the archers retrained in a second. But after this turn, the Marian Reforms will happen. So this army, and also this one's pretty close. They will be retrained with the new Roman units. That's what this. That's what these next few episodes are going to be about. It's retraining all the armies so that they're actually fitted for. Wow, I don't really need that many. Time watch. Retraining the army so that they'll be refitted for with the new army, with the new soldiers. Also, this settlement has too few people to train garrison there, so I'll train the garrison from Thermon, so that these assholes can shut up a bit as well, and then send them over there. So yeah, this army will, after it has stabilized the area here, I will send it over here to capture this Dacian city. This army will go from Salona to Italy, where it will retrain all the units. Also in here in Capua, it will have all the armor bonuses from the Temple of Vulcan. And after that, it will send it over to take out the Thracians, and then it will help out with defeating the Dacians. This army, which will hold the hold the pass here in North Italy, will also get everything retrained, and then will take out Eophevum and then punch through this way through the Dacians. So we'll have 3 legions attacking the Dacians. And this one will probably like kind of stay here to help out to defeat the British tribes that are attacking us all the time. And this one will continue to punch into Spain, but all of them will need to be retrained with Roman Legionnaires. Alright, so before I forget, really quickly do that, and end the turn. And of course, they attack. And what do the Greek citizens want? Ceasefire, sure. I'll accept any ceasefire at this point. The only ceasefire I wouldn't accept was Macedon, but Macedon's dead now. There we go! A new man, Gaius Marius. Gaius Marius proposed a series of laws that allowed the proletariat, or whatever, to join his reorganized Roman army. In return for many years of military service, every soldier will be given a land as a kind of pension. This reform is passed in the People's Assembly without the approval of the Senate. It's a certainty that such popular and populist appeal will do Marius no favors in the long run. The troop types available for recruitment now reflect the structure of his new professional army. Check the recruitment scroll to view the details. Yeah. So basically the historical story behind this is Gaius Marius was a Roman general, and the Senate asked him to help with the problem that the Roman Republic faced. They had already defeated the Macedonians at this point. Well, not in 214 BC, but when the Marian Reforms happened, they had defeated the Carthaginians already and captured Africa. But that's a problem with some Germanic tribes that came through the Alps and ransacked North Italy and southern Gaul through there. Basically all the areas that I have right now, all with the exception of those two, Quintania and Lugdunensis. They didn't have that one. They didn't have that much. But the Germanic tribes came from what is currently Denmark all the way down here, and they came through the Alps and they defeated the Nori, which was a barbarian tribe which was allied with the Roman Republic because they were very good metalsmithers, and they made a lot of. Is metalsmithers a word? I don't even know. They were very good at metalsmithing, and they made a lot of weapons and armor for the Roman army. And they defeated them because those Germanic tribes wanted a position next to the Roman Republic, and of course there was some argument because of that, and they just they fought over that basically. Marius was the one that was sent over to deal with the problem. However, he noticed that the Roman army wasn't very battle efficient because it was very how do you call it, classical. The Roman army followed the rules of classical warfare. Huge baggage train with stuff behind them, which slowed the army down because the Greeks had done that for thousands of years. So why the hell would you do anything different? Because Alexander the Great conquered the whole world doing that. So why would you do something different? You know, that's basically the idea. Also, only rich people were allowed to join the army. You had to buy for your own armor and your own equipment. You had to pay for that yourself, so you had to have a lot of money in order to join the army. And basically, everyone would go back as a farmer, or whatever they were doing, until the state needed them. They got the letter home that the state needed them for the army, that they needed to assemble their gear. So then they had to purchase all their gear, and then they had to come over and fight. And then afterwards, they just went back home. But what Marius did, he not only reorganized all the units, because the classical way of Hastati, Principes and Triarii, the three manipols, he removed that entirely. He switched it out for legionaries, which are the guys that you can see in the background there, which are basically the thing that everyone knows. When you see Roman, you imagine a legionary. A huge square scutum, lorica segmentata, the whole thing, you know. So he changed all the units into that. Everything else that the Romans needed, which is like archers, spearmen. The Romans were not very good at that because, of course, the Romans were only not very good at melee, but not very good at cavalry or archers or anything. But some tribes that they conquered were. So they recruited all their cavalry from tribes where they were good at cavalry. They recruited all their archers from tribes that were good at archers, primarily in Syria later on. Syrian archers were very common in Roman armies, or Germanic archers. They trained spearmen from Greece because they were good spear fighters. They trained cavalry from Spain and from basically they trained all that, and they were trained as Auxillia. They weren't Roman citizens because only Roman citizens were allowed to be legionnaires. The Auxilia would, after 25 years of service, would gain Roman citizenship because in those 25 years, of course, they would hang around with actual Romans. So they would pick up Roman customs, and basically after the 25 years, they would actually be a Roman. They have all the Roman customs, they would believe in the Roman gods, they go to bathhouses, visit gladiatorial games, etc., etc. And they would get Roman citizenship, so they basically would convert barbarians that they conquered into actually civilized Romans. And that's where they recruited all the auxilia from, because those were the support troops, and those were troops that were good in what they were doing, because Romans are only good at hand-to-hand combat with swords. The Romans aren't very good with archery or spear fighting, so they recruited them from areas where they were good at archery and spear fighting, and then you had basically the perfect professional army. And also the nickname for the Roman soldiers after this was Marius Mules, because Marius also introduced, because it was very common for armies to have a huge baggage train with supplies and armor and food and stuff like that behind the army. But of course, when you have a very big carts, they can't really go everywhere. These guys can just hop over tree trunks and stuff like that, but those carts, they have to find a way that they get stuck easily and stuff like that. So those huge baggage trains slowed the army down. But what Marius did, he made every unit was divided into 8 groups, which is called a contubernium, and every contubernium member carried 1/8, because 8 men are in a contubernium. They carried 1/8 of tent equipment, because 8 men slept in one tent, and they all carried their own equipment and their own food. So they all carried a part of the tent, so that they could all sleep in one tent, because they always slept together. They fought together. They stood guard over each other. Those 8 guys were always together, and those 8 contubernium, 10 contuberniae form a century. And I believe 3 centuries form a cohort. 2 cohorts form a manipole. No. It's something along those lines. It's 10 contuberniae at least. They form a century, which is under the command of a centurion. I believe 3 centuries form a manipole. 2 manipoles form a cohort. 20 cohorts form a legion. And the Roman army had about 30 legions. Something along those lines. Anyway, so they all would carry their own equipment. They would carry their own armor, their own food, 1/8 of the tent where all their friends would sleep with, and tools to build a camp and everything else. So there was a huge burden on the shoulders of the soldiers. Of course, that would make them a lot stronger. But by that, they were called Marius mules, because they had to carry all their own equipment. But of course, that made the Roman army extremely mobile, because otherwise, all the other armies had to wait for their huge baggage train to come along. But these guys didn't have. But the Roman army didn't have a baggage train. They all carried their own stuff, so they were able to easily and very quickly march over to every area of the empire. And also because the Roman road network made it even easier, because of course Roman roads were extremely very well organized. Anyway, that's some Roman history for you there. Alright, so the Senate asked us to blockade the port of Syracuse. Yeah, by the way, the Senate's mission before was to blockade the port of Londinium. But the only port I had was this one, and I managed to train this boat, but I never would have made it over there, so... yeah. Oh yeah, we are... You've got to be fucking kidding me. We just accepted a fucking peace treaty with the fucking Greek city-states. Doesn't the Senate have also a peace treaty with them? No, they just declared war to them again. Right, let's see if we can assassinate someone. Alright, so we'll try it on that one. Yeah, they just now declared war on us. Well, we actually just declared a ceasefire. Hopefully the Greek citizens will be able to arrange a ceasefire with SPQ, with the Senate again. Also, because the penalty for the last mission was that they would check my financial irregularities or whatever. But, and then basically I would lose popularity with the people if they actually found something. Or if they just made something up because they just don't like me. That's also possible. But what happened is that the person that had to investigate that was the Questor, I believe. And the Questor is one of my family members. And then it said, the Questor is a friend, they found nothing. Because, of course, he is one of my own family members, so he will not accuse me of anything, of course. So that was pretty funny. Basically, I already have full control over the Senate. Because almost all of the Senate positions in the Senate office are mine. So the Senate cannot condemn me of anything, because all these guys, except for the consul, all these guys will stop anything that the Senate does. Which is pretty funny, because yeah, I would lose popularity with the people if I failed the mission, but the Questor has to investigate my financial irregularities, or whatever you pronounce that. And he said, and he's one of my family members, so he said, no, nothing is wrong, because he's of my own family. If it was a Scipii or a Brutii family member, of course I would have lost a whole lot of stuff, but not this time. Alright, so as you can see, we have now got access to a lot of different units. We got Archer Auxillia, which are better archers. Let's compare, actually. So these guys have golden upgrades, so you have to keep that in mind. He's got a missile attack of 16. These guys got a missile attack of 8, because of course they don't have any experience. They got a lot more, they got some more armor, I believe, as well. So yeah, those are the they also the Archer Auxilia are long range, so they can fire from further away, and they've got good stamina as well. Then you've got the Auxilia, which are basically the replacements of Triarii. You've got combat bonus in woods, bonus fighting cavalry, of course, because they got spears, good stamina. They're all right. They're not fantastically great, but they're just pretty good. Here are the early legionary cohorts, which still got the chainmail armor. They can form the Studo now as well. Good morale, good stamina. But we don't want them yet. We don't want them. We want... not Praetorians. These guys, legionary cohorts. These are the ones that we want. Right. Upkeep cost is 610. 210, I mean. Let's take a look at the upkeep cost of these guys. So it is... Basically, they're the equivalent of Principes. So it is 40 more denarii in upkeep. But of course all these guys will be gone. Right, even though I've got a lot of nice upgrades for these guys, all of these guys are just basically worthless at this point. So I'm gonna stand here. And this band stuff in this province, yeah. So that we can hopefully upgrade this province as well. Because we just... I know they've got all experience and everything, but I can't retrain them anymore, so there's no point in keeping them. They've served me well, but they have to go now. I'm sorry. Town expands. Salona, of course, just now. Also, this one's expanded, Apollonia. We've just upgraded it, so that's also very nice. So this guy is now clean. So we need to train legionnaires. Can we train them from here? No, because we don't have army barracks yet. We have to we're upgrading Pacific first. Right. So 1, 2, 3. Do we have army barracks here? Or they're building army barracks? Are the army barracks here? Yes, we actually can build urban barracks here for urban cohorts, but we won't be using urban cohorts here. By the way, I will be using Pretorians in this Let's Play. I will only use Pretorians to protect Rome and the Emperor, because once I turn into an Emperor, I will have a Praetorian army, which will protect the Emperor only. That will be the only Praetorians that we will train. Okay, so that will be 6 of those guys. This is Legion barracks. Alright, we need army barracks basically everywhere. These are just Legion barracks still. Because we can only train those legionnaires with army barracks. So we need to build up the barracks everywhere. Alright, we got army barracks here. So we can train legionnaires from there. That's actually good, because I don't even need to move this guy to whatever it is. I don't need to move this guy to fucking... Oh, whoa, this army is on the way. You need to move that guy towards Italy in that case. Right, Corinth, you already have army barracks. Good. You got Greek from the Greeks still. Let's build a hyperdrome. In Thessalonica, let's build an armorer so that we can upgrade the guys that we train. Also army barracks here. These are just legion barracks. Oh, we can't upgrade it because it's a minor settlement. The army barracks there. Here are no army barracks. Oh, we don't have enough money for army barracks, but okay. Okay, so for here there will be... I want 8 legionnaires, so... 8, there we go. 8 legion. Also, you can train an eagle cohort from Rome only. So I will do that once I capture it, but I don't have Rome right now. Alright, so then we want... We also need cavalry from somewhere. Where are some decent cavalry stables? I think all in Greece. I think everything that we have, all the best things that we have are in Greece. No, this is Roman cavalry, which is the new one. Basically the equivalent of the general's bodyguards. The general has now Praetorians as bodyguard Praetorian cavalry as bodyguards. We have a hyperdrome here, so here we have legionary. Yeah, Legion cavalry. Legion cavalry is the cavalry that we want to go for. But for now we will just stick with the Roman cavalry, I think. Okay, we can train Roman cavalry from here, so we'll train 2 from there. But now let's just train straight up 3 from there. Just 3 cavalry for that army. And from here, we will recruit archers. And then from this one, we will recruit the Hastati. The Auxillia. So that's 8. Plus 4 archers is 12. Plus 2 Auxilia is 14, plus 3 cavalry is 17, general is 18, later on we get an eagle cohort which is 19, then we have 1 unit left, then we can do 1 extra unit of Auxilia. Okay. So basically we will have everything in here except for the eagle cohorts, but we can't train them yet because we don't have Rome. As you can see that we only need 1 more. I believe we only need this one, and then we can stage a coup on the Senate. But of course, we want to retrain our guys first. Also, we got this going on, so Now that everything has been retrained from this army, we might as well send it off to kill some British. Oh, whoops. You need to go that way. Oh, whatever. Yeah, it sucks now, because now everything is on the frontier and we can't retrain anything. I am so tired of those British. I am really tired of them. Oh, they got wood warriors in there. Wow, it even takes 3 turns to get there. Jesus fucking Christ. Well, that probably means that we're going to lose Lungdunum. Which is stupid. I really hate those British. They just fucking magically get units from everywhere. Or we can leave here with 80. Okay, go straight that way. Alright, so we want sewers in there. At this point I just really want to rush over and just overthrow these Dacians as fast as I can. Alright, so also we want this one, the Pantheon, from Vulcan. So we can have maximum armor upgrades for all of our guys. Okay. Archers, we want 3 of those. I don't need to retrain him, okay. Okay, he's our factionaire right now. Let's take a look at our family tree. Yeah, I'll just let him stay in there, so hopefully he can get some children. Because look at how many fucking females we have. And according, oh, there we go. We got some more guys coming in. That's good. Right, so we've got the wall there. Mines, it'll be... Why the hell can we retrain them? I'll do it anyway. And perhaps I can train some early legionary cohorts and try to... Get some... No, train some cavalry from here. Just, like, assemble a very tiny army to take care of that, because... Fuck off, stupid British pieces of shit. Alright, can we leave here yet? Low tax rate? Yes, we can. Good. Alright, so these guys want to stand and fight, unfortunately. Wow, look at all the upgrades there. Wow, okay, I don't really want to fight that. I'll just wait here. Hopefully they'll make the attack and then we can just attack them down. Oh yeah, we're still neutral with them. Right, the Questor will investigate your faction for financial irregularities. How the hell do you pronounce that? Actually, hang on a minute. Irregularities. I think that's how it's supposed to be pronounced. But the Questor will do that. As you can see, the Questor is from our family, so in theory, nothing bad can happen to us. Anyway, I'll actually end off this episode here, because I have to go somewhere. So, it's going to be a bit of a troubled time, because we have to keep fighting, of course, because otherwise the enemy is just going to overrun us. But at the same time, we have to keep enough money for us to get all the legions in order. So yeah, it's a bit of a hectic time. We have to swap out all of the legions with from Hastati to Legionnaires, but I think it'll be alright. Also, we still haven't captured the Carthaginians yet. But yeah, we've just been so extremely busy with the Spanish, and then the British, and then the Dacians, and then the Scythians, and the Thracians, and basically everyone just attacked us. So let's first get rid of those big bitch dickheads, and then we'll see after that. Is this still owned by the Scythians? This is still Dacia, still Scythia, still Parthia. Oh, this is also Parthia, so they captured this. This is still Armenia. Whoa, this is Greek city-states. Whoa. That's Armenia. That's also still Armenia. Yeah. It's so stupid that the fucking Egyptians aren't declaring war to those to the Greek city-states. This is all still... Well, they've captured this, the Carthaginians, from the Numidians, but that's it. This is still theirs. I bet this is still theirs as well. This is still from the Spanish. They still own all Spain. Oh, with the exception of Oscar now, because Oscar's ours. Anyway, I want this... Yeah, that's also why I want to get rid of these guys, because this just pushes them off, and then we don't have any enemies on this frontier. Unless the Numidians decide to attack us, but I've never ever seen that happen, so I don't imagine that that's going to happen. Alright, so... yeah, as I said, it's a bit of a hectic time. We have to swap out all of the guys. And train new archers, new... Auxillia, new everything basically, so it will be a bit of a chaotic time, but I think it will be alright. And I think we will be able to do this. Although money is running short, unfortunately. Even you would imagine when you've captured entire fucking Greece and Macedon, the richest settlements in the beginning of the game, you would imagine that you could get some fucking money out of this, but no, I'm not getting a lot of money out of this at all. Probably because I got too many armies. But yeah, this just means I need to take more settlements, basically. And if someone would actually have a peace treaty with me, then it would be a lot easier. But of course, no one wants to have a peace treaty with me.
Who shall die this day?
Also, we wanted to assassinate this one, so let's save on Let's Play. Also, very annoying. They get a peace treaty with the Senate all the bloody time, but when I ask for a peace treaty, they're like, "No, we don't want a peace treaty. Fuck you." Like, why with the Senate and not me? Like, what the fuck? Alright, so we managed to kill that British diplomat there. That's good. Anyway, I hope you almost enjoyed the video. Click the like button underneath the video. Subscribe to be part of the Roman army so you never miss any of my videos. You can do that by clicking the subscribe button up here over the left of the video or the subscribe button underneath the video. See you later, Romans. Ave.